There he goes, leaning back like an absolute chess boss as he demolishes another poor opponent, but not today. It's Ryo Chen's turn to do this to Hikaru Nakamura. He's only 15 years old and an international master. He's not supposed to be smashing the world number 2 in 27 moves and with black. And look at these opening moves with a King's Indian defense. Apparently, Ryo's favourite player is Garry Kasparov. Shades of him in this game. It's titled Tuesday, online chess. Played on the 16th of September. Let's dive in on this classic. Hikaru goes for this Simic variation. You slightly weaken the king, but often castle queenside. Now we get the bishop whooshing out. This one fights for the centre, so of course you advance right on past, set up a wonderful connect 4. Hikaru only goes and wins himself a hug with Hans Niemann. What a lucky guy. So great to see them best of friends these days, thanks to modern AI. Now we see the pawn attacking the centre. It's got to be done. Queen d2 takes. Obviously you capture like that. You want the connect 4. You want the nice cuddle. Now we get pawn a6. And if you're not playing pawn a4 in about half a second, then you really need to reassess your life. We now see rook e8. Obviously, bishop e2 stops the x-ray on the king, but you just killed the knight. How's that one going to develop? Well, here's the point. Pawn h4. Knight bd7, and you can jump out like this. Now with the bishop blocked, you can't take that knight. Sometimes in this structure, black wants to do that, but it's on its way here. First though, we get the explosive c4. Very instructive play from black. You know, the b5 expansion shut down, so this is now how to play. You spawn the seahorse here, and the best way for white to respond is actually taking this pawn. There is a threat to go to Forktown over here, right? And if you do this, not only do you win a pawn, but you cover the square. However, that's a loose bishop. So this is the main line. No doubt Hikaru saw this, but he wanted to keep it more complicated. This liquidates some pieces, and you can reach some kind of end game like this. Let's pause here. Black has the bishops and an extra pawn, but white with a ton of pressure. All of this stuff on the way. I mean, be careful of rook b2, but you get the idea. So that was the way to go. Main line not played. We get queen c2, knight b3, and now rook a3 is actually best, preparing to give the exchange. This one and the pawn are that much of a problem. But Hikaru slides this way, and just like that, the butt flap falls out of the almighty engine, pooping its pants. Minus 1.72, even though materials level, really surprises me, but it's all about these dark squares. This is weak, this is weak, this is weak. Whoops, drunken bishop, queen's coming, knights converging on the dark squares. This is a monster, this is a terrible bishop. And if you try g4, well anyway the knight hops, something like this. And then black calmly develops, b5 soon to come, cement the pawn, cement the knight. This is still tender, it's really good for black. So we come back, castles was tried. Yes, you could do it straight away, but stronger is queen c5. Pin win, baby. If you try and run, you get murdered on the dark squares. First kick the bishop, where can it even go? Then after taking, you do this nasty stuff. It's just horrible. Again, you cement this. This one's having no fun. So we run back here. Hikaru's in some real trouble, and he therefore tries to mix it up with pawn to e5, vacating the e4 square for his knight. This is his big point, but it really is just not working. You could capture that pawn, or play bishop f5 as we see in the game. Of course, you've got no bishop d3 available as you'd love to do, so knight e4 selected, but there's a very simple continuation connected with the fact that this knight is pinned. It's bishop takes on e4, not something you'd normally do if white could take back like this, but they can't. And if you go with the queen, well, then the rook's crashing through. It's just horrible. So running back, we see pawn takes, but there's a structure that really only a mother could love. You open an attack here, but to no avail. The knight simply hops, rook hit, bishop also pressured, and if you try and save that exchange, well then there's another knight that starts hopping. This one hits the queen. You have to move. Then you take and anyway win an exchange, completely crushing position. So we didn't see the rook save itself. We saw bishop takes on c4. Good practical try, because if black takes the rook, you take this knight, and this knight's actually trapped. You're doing well as white. So knight d4 was played. Best move. You cannot move the queen. Stay with the bishop, because anyway check. Then the king can't go here, so goes here, but the bishop now converges. You're getting absolutely shredded. Knight has to block, but you run into pawn h5. Let's stop there. So running back, the exchange was given. Best move. Another rook attacked. What if you move it here? Well, then simply queen takes, and it's still a mammoth position for black with just no counterplay or practical chances. So that's why Hikaru takes here. Sheds a second exchange. He's a double exchange down, but at least in this variation, he's got some weird pawns. A glimmer of making the game strange, but queen e5, knight g4, just don't Botez gambit and you're looking good. Bishop e2 played, such a natural developing move, covering the knight that was attacked, but it loses on the spot. Rook e to c8, and Hikaru resigns the game on move 27, because if you move the queen anywhere sensible, you know, if you go to d2 you get taken, c1 still taken, d1 you get pinned. So in the game we didn't see a move, but if you did this, there's then check. And the only way to block is with the bishop. You know, the queen is cutting squares, and then you can pick up a knight using the pin. So it's all just collapsing like a house of cards. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do smash subscribe if you did, and have a look at the video on screen for some more epic chess, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.
Okay, let's the procedure. Block. This is first what I do.